Alrighty then, where were we? Investigation time? Yeah. Huh? What is this blood spot? Right next to me is Yamaguchi, whose blood goes all around the library. It's not that strange that there could be blood spots in the library following this idea, but this blood spot looked kinda different. It's the only one away from Yamaguchi's corpse. This blood spot is... Hey Mera, what are you doing sitting on the floor? Oh, Kabashikawa, do you know where this blood stain came from? Oh, right, that's where Kinjo fell. Hmm, this is the place you found him? Well, when we entered the library, Yamaguchi was there as you can see it, and Kinjo was lying in that position and unconscious. You didn't know because you didn't see Kinjo here. That's right, early Kinjo was struck in the head and bleeding, but you mean he spilled this much blood? You thought it was a joke, but Tori had to disinfect and bandage him, so it's okay for now. But at first I thought he was really dead. Kinjo was lying in this position. Then I can't imagine that Kinjo knocked down someone else's head in the back. When and how did the killer attack Kinjo to stun him? And if it's enough to make him bleed this much, why did they stop with only that? Yamaguchi and Inori were the only ones who were killed, even though there was an obvious malice behind it. The fact that a blackened could kill up to 2 people, so it was added later as a rule. The criminal wouldn't know about this. If Kinjo wakes up, I should ask him. Yamaguchi's corpse stretched loosely on the floor of the library. In contrast to his sloppy body, it was droopy. His pupils were loose and he felt empty. This is a man's death. We've seen it many times already, real people dying. Yamaguchi, you were the one who we talked to just yesterday. There's no time to be sad, even for Yamaguchi. We must find out who made him like this. I've decided to investigate Yamaguchi's body. I felt something hard and cold. According to the Monokuma file, it is said that he was cut off by something sharp. Indeed, there was a terrible wound that I could see it with my eyes open. Yamaguchi's neck was completely cut out from the back neck to the front, but it was surprising that it wasn't cut completely, but barely a piece of flesh was left attached. I put up with the dojo that came up and looked at the wound. I've heard that the injured area is ravenously torn by something like a knife or tool that's usually roughened, but in Yamaguchi's case it was cut neatly as if you were cutting paper with a cutter knife. I can't see anymore, so terrible. Poor Yamaguchi spilling a lot of blood. Like Tomori. As my stomach was shaking inside, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. Surely blood in the library is no joke. It ran from the corridor to the body of Yamaguchi, and it was also protruding from Yamaguchi's body. Yamaguchi's neck doesn't bleed anymore. Looking at the Monokuma file, it said that there were no visible traumas other than neck wound. Then this tremendous amount of blood flows from the neck only. Yamaguchi's time of death is 8:40. From this wound, immediate death is certain. So even if the wound started bleeding from then, it has not yet passed even an hour. But why is the blood no longer flowing out from his throat? Because it dried up. When I recall the words of Inori, who is no longer here, it seems that after the heart stops, blood circulation also stops. If so, in this case of immediate death, the blood should flow even less. But isn't it too early? In a similar case, when I investigated Tomori's corpse, there was a little blood coming out from her. However, in contrast, Yamaguchi's body looked very dry already. It's been less than an hour since blood is spilled, but the blood already dried up. I knew something was wrong, but there was no way to think about it anymore because there wasn't Inori or Kinjo who had professional insight on these moments. Inori can't speak to us anymore, but Kinjo is still alive. I should ask him if he wakes up. Damn it, Yamaguchi and Noi were dead. I couldn't even say goodbye. Even so, we have to survive for them. Okay, let's do some more research. There may be something in the bookshelf. So leave this place to me. Killing two people at the same time? How heinous is this person? This killer? Of course it's not me, don't doubt it. It's a huge blood trace from Yamaguchi's body to the library door. Was this all Yamaguchi's blood? There's something wrong with this. It's a terrible amount to look at, but I've seen a situation similar to this. It was dark back then, so I couldn't see well. Tamori shed such tremendous amount of blood and died. However, there are more from Yamaguchi's in terms of quantity, because this blood leads all the way to the corridor. There's also this. In Tamari's case, there were two wounds, one on the neck and the other in the stomach. It was also discovered several hours after death, so it's already bleeding. Less than an hour after death. No matter how deeply you are injured, can this amount of blood come out of your neck? Not only that, the shape of the blood is also a little strange. This shape looks as if the body of Yamaguchi's was brought into the library from outside. I'll check this out for a bit. When I slightly lifted Yamaguchi's body and looked at the floor where he was lying down, I immediately felt a sense of discomfort. If the corpse was brought from outside, there should be no blood under Yamaguchi's corpse. But that's what I see here. Blood spots are also over Yamaguchi's body. Thanks to that, Yamaguchi's stomach and chest were wet with blood. The shape of the bleeding itself certainly feels like dragging the corpse to the floor from the outside. If so, there can be no blood left under the corpse like this. No, before that, there is blood under the body. It means that there was blood here before Yamaguchi fell. Is that right though? However, Inoi didn't really seem to have bled. Then this blood must be Yamaguchi's. I don't really know, but I noticed something strange about the situation with the blood sea in the library and Yamaguchi's body. I'll mark it down and discuss it with the others at the class trial. Oh, madam. Tara, what are you doing? Is there something in the hallway? Well, this is not exactly right. The smell of the blood is still there, and as I keep looking at the body, I just get sick of it. Oh, are you okay? You don't have to overdo it. Oh no, everyone is working hard. I can't be the exception. The class trial will start soon. It's alright. Then why don't you answer a few questions for me, Chira? Oh, you want to ask me something? Yeah, when Kurokawa, Oihara, and I went to investigate the third floor, would you like to tell me what happened on the second floor at that time? Yeah, she should know from this at least. Almost at the same time the BDAs rang, Kinjo fainted is full of holes that my own eyes didn't see. Oh, okay, I can help in this. That's simple enough. But there's not much to tell. We, like Maedicon, were shaken when we found the body, and then we started investigating. Okay. I don't know if this has anything to do with the case, Maedicon, but there's something I was a little confused about. Is it okay to say it? Sure, what is it? Kanana-chan, you said you found her in the science lab, right? But I stopped by the science lab just before nighttime yesterday too. However, at the time the door was locked too. Huh? The door to the science lab was locked? Yeah, do you think it's related to the case? It's true, the door didn't open even when we found Inoi's body. It was blocked with something like a clasp. Even so, she said the door was already closed before nighttime began yesterday. I think I'll take it for reference. Thank you, Tyra. Was I helpful? I'm glad then. Oh, by the way, why did you go to the science lab just before nighttime yesterday? Oh, that's because last night I did a bit of mincemeat in it, and I tried to use the scissors on my wrist. Were those scissors in the science lab? Yeah, I wasn't sane back then yesterday, so I went to the science lab to pick up the scissors. I understand, I get it now. Thanks, Tyra. Before nighttime yesterday, the science lab was already closed. What does that mean? I'll have to check it out. Or how is your body okay? Don't overdo it so much. No, it is not a deep wound, so do not mind it. By the way, have you seen the cell phone? Cell phone? You mean Maki's cell phone that you found on the 3rd floor? I thought Overhara kept it. Yeah, I always kept it in my top pocket because I didn't know when I would need it, but now I realize that the phone is gone. It disappeared. When was the last time Uehara checked for the cell phone? It was at least until yesterday at night that I recall having it, but after fainting, it was gone. Then that means the killer probably took it. That is a sinister premonition, but I'd agree. However, the cell phone doesn't seem important right now, because first we have to investigate. Wonder where did that cell phone go? I inadvertently tried to walk towards the science lab, but I was surprised because the water from it was filling the corridor now. The water's still leaking from the science lab? It won't matter if I just go in, but from what Mikara warned me before, gives me something to be cautious of. I shouldn't step in this water. Hey, incompetent, get out of the way quickly. You're obstructing the traffic. Oh, Mikara, you came here, but it's water. Are you still talking? Would you get out of the way already? But Mikari said we shouldn't touch the water a while ago. Why are you doing this? And if you're going there, would it be dangerous to enter there? It's fine to enter now, so feel free to go in. I've spoken to Monocom earlier to put it away. Put it away? You'll know when you enter the science lab. Still, no one seems to be turning off the faucet. You guys really don't have a clue, do ya? You don't even have Tsurugi Kinjo anymore. Put what away? The faucet? For the love of God, would you look directly with your own 2 eyes and think in your head? At least, it would be nice if I could tell you everything, huh? There's no point in being so irritating. Well, since Mikara said it's safe to walk in the water, I should be confident now. Like Mikara said, let's see what happened with my own eyes. Hiya, Yuki, the hallway is a water path, and the art room is full of bloody lockers. Why is everything so bad? Seems the culprit this time planned the crime by going from place to place. That's a very intelligent killer. Wonder if Tatsu can win. Against such a mighty opponent, I'm a little worried. A weapon decoration made of plaster. Various weapons are carved here, but do you usually design weapons? Huh? This blaster weapon, was it originally here? I thought it was against the blaster on the right. I don't come to the art room often, so I'm not sure about this. I don't know, it's probably just an illusion. The moment I tried to make that judgment and move my steps, I saw the red spot. This spear, is this blood? It wasn't very notable, but there was a circular red dot on the tip of the long blade. I picked up the spear and smelled that part. A faint but fishy smell. This is blood. Then the weapon that killed Yamaguchi was something long and sharp. If it's long, this might fit for the murder weapon. After using it to kill Yamaguchi, it was returned back to the same place where it was originally, but the location was different because the killer got mistaken. Looking at the blood on it, it must be something related to the case somehow. But why is the blood so tiny sized and in a circular splatter? It was so tiny that I almost missed it. Did it make a small bounce from this? No, that would not have caused the blood to splatter in the first place. I don't think I can figure it out yet. So locker that contained miscellaneous art tools, but now inside is covered with blood in terrible condition. Mikara was bound like this in the bloody locker. At that time, Mikara's arms and legs were tied with tape, and her mouth was taped as well. She was locked from the outside and hit the door of the locker from the inside to try to get out, and the result was the rumbling sound that echoed in the second floor. And the killer did all of this, right? Apparently the culprit trapped her here for some reason. Otherwise, if you did all of this to yourself, it would only create more suspicion. Not only Mikharu, the attack on Orihara and Kinjo must have their reason as well. But the bigger issue is this bloody locker. If you think about it, Yamaguchi or Inori's body doesn't seem to be related to the art room. However, what does the blood in the locker suggest? No matter who it's from, it's pretty difficult not to miss it. The blood is also dried up. Inori didn't seem to have any bleeding. Yamaguchi instead had too much bleeding. But he died not too long ago, and Mikharu was also tied here, but she was not bleeding. If that's the case, it could be Kinjo's blood. It's my only guess, but Kinjo got hit in his head. If this amount comes from his head, wouldn't he have died? This blood's identity is troublesome in more ways than one. I have no choice but to discuss it at the class trial. An object next to Inori's body. It's the Monokuma File 32 brought by that thing. Information about Inori should be written in it. The victim is Kanata Inori. The estimated time of death is about 8:35. The body was in the science lab. The cause of death is electric shock. The body's internal organs have been burned through the wet body because of an electric current for a long time while being bound. Oh, brutal. Terrible, not a drop of blood was shed. And yet, this is the most terrible someone has done to a friend. Doing this to Inori, who is the smallest and weakest among us. The culprit behind this, it's fair to say that we are distressed to have doubt another friend against our will, but at this very moment, the undeniable anger that I feel has risen against this perpetrator, who I don't know who they are yet. It is different from Yamaguchi. He was presumed to have been killed by his neck with one blow, but Inori's case was just a victim that was killed in front of our very own eyes. A few minutes ago, with a single wall in between, the door of the science lab, I heard her scream. Her pain, her cries, her agony very clearly. I can't help but feel this anger, but it won't make any difference. Since it's just a Monokuma file that gives me information, I'll have to make use of this. But this alone is not enough information. What can be deduced as of now is the time of death was 8:35. She died 5 minutes earlier than Yamaguchi. Around that time, we couldn't open the science lab room, and we were just outside of the room. There is no problem with the time at least. But killing 2 people directly in 5 minutes? At that time, we were walking between 2nd and 3rd floors, so if we go back and forth between the areas, you would definitely stand out. How could the killer murder 2 people with only 5 minutes for each? What's this? A wooden stick-like object was floating on the water-filled science lab floor. Oh, that's right. When the science lab's door did not open, it was because of this thing that Mikharu removed to open the door. When he found Inori's body, we had a hard time because the door of the science room could not be opened, but it seems that the killer used this object to block the door. When I picked it up and I checked it up close, it was an ordinary wooden stick, but it was very thick, so it'd be natural if the sliding door was blocked with something like this. When I looked in the back of the door, I saw a space where a wooden board could fit in. If it is closed while standing behind the door, then the closed room scenario would naturally be completed. However, what was the reason for the killer to make a closed room? A reason to lock the room. I'll keep it in mind. I was seeing Inori's body sinking in the water. It seemed like she was in tears. Investigating the bodies of some of our dead friends with no time to grieve. However, without investigation, the killer has to be identified. In order to survive the class trial, I must investigate. For now, I decided to look at the body of Inori based on what was written in the Monokuma file. Inori's body was so terrible that you couldn't see it with your eyes open, but for now, all of her clothes and skin were burnt. Her whole body was fixed with several layers of box tape, and her hands were tied with ropes and hung from the table. Inori, in this state of being unable to move, suffered terrible pain and died. Damn it! Continue to investigate while my swearings reach hollow ears. The tools that were used on Inori I remember seeing box tapes and ropes in the art room. Seems for whatever reason the art room is a place related to the incident. Other than that, I can only think of the fact that the faucet where she is tied to is the same table and there's many miscellaneous tools around us. But do they have anything to do with the case? The box tape was tightly attached in her shoulders. 5 layers, even a strong adult man would make it impossible to tear it off with their own strength. And also, it must have been even harder for Inori, who was small in size, to move. Was there any reason to tie Inori to this extent? Just a killer's idea? Would that be it? Looking at it that way, Inori has always been in the infirmary after it was opened. Maybe there's a clue in that place too. You didn't follow me, did you? At least you listened when you came in here. You know now the reason why I told you not to touch the water and why this place became a pool of water. Yeah, but Mikharu, I wanted to ask you something different from this. Do you think I'll answer? I'm serious here, I really have a question. It was when you were in the art room locker. You asked me to show you my hand as soon as you left the locker, right? Why did you do that? I won't answer this, however. Is this just simple safety? No matter what happens, the only thing that lives on is insurance. It is the minimal precaution that's needed. Insurance? The two of us aren't close enough to explain every phrase to you, am I right? Well, don't worry, the psycho cop won't be able to serve you this time, so you should have an insurance at least. When you guys feel so clueless that you got no other ways to go and in the verge of death, if this aspect shows up in the trial, then I'll show you my last trump card. So please make sure that doesn't happen. Mikharu began to investigate Inori's body again, leaving only an empty silence in the end. It's the moment that she will no longer speak. At that time, Mikharu had to make sure to give her my right hand. I took a look at my right hand, but there wasn't anything there. Is there something only Mikharu knows? Oh, this is... Deep in the water pool of the science lab, I saw something that I had seen somewhere before. This was Maki's mobile phone? Probably. The cell phone that Orihara discovered on the first day when the 3rd floor was opened. I haven't seen any other phones, so Maki's would be the only one left. Why is the cell phone in this place? Looked at the sides, wondering, but as soon as I saw the screen, I noticed that his phone was not in normal condition. Why is the screen like this? The phone screen was crumpled with a mixture of purple and pink. The clock was turned into a strange language rather than numbers, and the buttons weren't fit properly. To put it in a word, it's broken. Well, it's only natural because it was underwater. I couldn't hide my disappointment, hoping that I might be able to fix this phone and get in touch with the outside world later on. Now, right now, the class trial should be my main priority. Anyway, does this mean that the mobile phone was used as some kind of tool for an incident related to this case? Thinking that way, I fiddled with the phone a little more. I noticed a small alarm indicator at the top of the screen. The alarm was set to 8:30, but now it's already off. Who set the alarm? Besides at 8:30, that was just before we tried to open the science lab door. As I pondered, it was very likely the phone was involved in the incident, because it was not only that, there was another tool attached to the phone's strap. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this could be. The object connected to the cell phone strap was something I've seen in cartoons and movies. An electric shocker? You mean taser? I think it was also called a stun gun. Why are these dangerous objects at school? No, it seems like they were in the storage of the science lab, but... That's right, now I can understand what Mikharu said. Probably because the stun gun was using its power into the water pit. If it entered in that state, there's a high chance that we would have gotten electrocuted, but now it seems that it's not working. That was also because Mikharu told Monokuma to put it away. More importantly than that is that this is far from crime scene. According to the Monokuma file, Inori's death was caused by electrocution, so it's probably definitive that this was the most likely murder weapon. But what reason does it have to be connected to the phone strap? Also, that's not the only weird thing. If you think about this, if the weapon was a stun gun, it means that the killer struck Inori with this object. But then contradictions show up, such as a locked room scenario in the science lab and the crime that was done to Yamaguchi. No, there's nothing that suggests that the killer can only attack directly to their victim. Maybe making the science lab out of water like this was to prepare an effective crime scene. If electricity goes on while you're immersed in water, you're in the danger zone. The rest to figure out would be how the killer made the water to be energized and what method did they use. I'll have to speak about this with the others. This is one of the tables in the science lab, and the faucet allows you to throw away medicines or wash your hands during experiments. But now water is pouring out of the faucet at maximum capacity and it's overflowing. Right, the reason why the science lab was floored like this was because of the faucet. What a huge waste of water, but now is not the time to think about this. I hurriedly turned the faucet and the water stopped flowing. Well, there's no reason for the water to fill anything now. Also, this must have been done by the killer too, but what was the reason? The reason to take the science lab a sea of water. Let's see, we already talked to you. Is something on this first floor? Oh wait, we have to check out Kinjo, right. Kurokawa, you came down to the first floor. Did you figure out something? Kurokawa? Originally, Kurokawa was always to come out without a word. Now it looks like she's cautious. Is it because of the mood? I don't think she's open to talk for now, so I decided to leave it alone. Let's continue investigating. This refrigerator is a place to store transfusion packs, individually stored for each blood type. I was surprised when I opened the refrigerator. No wait, we don't have any transfusion packs? There were no more than 20 transfusion packs left the last time I saw them. Who used a transfusion pack recently? Now, where would you even use a blood transfusion pack? Let's think for a moment. When did the packs disappear? I recall them being stored properly until at least yesterday. Then that leaves, was it the killer's doing? But even if the culprit is the one, why did they need to take a transfusion pack? Did they even need fresh blood? It's Kinjo was fainted. The others treated him here and put him in the infirmary's bed. There's no way Kinjo will just finish here. When will you wake up? We're in a lot of trouble without you. And he wakes up. Oh wait, he didn't wake up. Okay. Let's see, what else am I missing? Oh, finally. Huh? I wonder if there might be something here too, and I inadvertently looked at the trash can and I was surprised to find something. I thought it was a tissue paper, but looking closer, it looks like a type of cloth. And it's raining, holy shit. Took out the unidentified piece of cloth from the trash and opened it. Let's see. Are these clothes? No, it's not just clothes. This is no way. Yeah, they were indeed blood-soaked. It was difficult to recognize the original color, but the pure white color that looked at a glance reminded me that this was originally a white gown worn by doctors. This white coat is what Inori was wearing. When I think about it, Inori's body that I saw in the science lab was not wearing a white coat. To think I would find it in such an unexpected place. Nor in fact, it may not be so unexpected. The place where the corpses were found are the science lab and the library, but the art room. It's pretty close to the area of the incident. The locker where Makan was found is the same, this white coat. It seems the blood from the coat has been there for some time, since it didn't feel wet at all. The question is, where did the killer use this white coat? For starters, Inori didn't seem to have any bleeding, so maybe it was used while killing Yamaguchi? No, it can't be. It's too dry to be from Yamaguchi's blood. though it would be an important clue, so I was able to make a new discovery while investigating every corner of the white coat. In the pocket of the white coat, I found a crumpled plastic wrap, but when I opened it carefully, I could see that it was blood-stained. The locker, library room, white coat, and this, there's too many blood-related clues. What even happened here? Also, when I took a look closely, the plastic wrap had a small round hole in the middle, but the meaning was unknown. I guess I'll have to talk about it in the trial. It's possible it was used to prevent blood, but wrapping a plastic for the sake of... would it have anything to do with the clues we found? There you go. I think we're almost done by now. But the culprit is still a mystery, damn it. Maybe more investigation is required. Monochrome hasn't called yet, so let's continue. Kinjo, you're awake. Maeda, are you okay? What about your bandages? It wasn't a thin wound from what I've heard. Now's not the time to bother about that. Maeda, did the murder happen? Yeah, just a little while ago. The class trial will begin soon. Kinjo, I'm glad you woke up. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to relax. I have to see the scene of the case before the trial starts. There you go. Maeda, did you do some research? Do you know where the scene is? Yeah, you should start with the library, science lab, the art room, and the infirmary. Okay, thanks. Kinjo, wait a minute. What's wrong? I'm sorry, but like I said before, I don't have much time right now. If I go to the trial without knowing what the case is, it's over. I'll talk to you later. But what I'm trying to ask you right now is related to the investigation. It's okay if it's simple, right? So please answer me. How the hell did you pass out? I saw a bloody Yamaguchi. I saw blood coming from the library, so I went to investigate. Yamaguchi was collapsed on the floor in blood. No matter how much I see corpses, I couldn't hide my surprise. Taking that little pause as their chance, someone attacked me from behind. I don't have any memories after that. Wait, you're talking about yesterday at nighttime, right? Yeah. What I mean is Yamaguchi was lying on the floor all bloody since yesterday at night? Correct. If you walk around the scene right away, you'll notice it. So Yamaguchi, he's dead, right? Yeah. Not only Yamaguchi, Inori also died. What? Inori too? The culprit in this case is not a simple person. They're a heinous mind that killed 2 people in a single day. This damn asshole. I'll definitely catch this being and punish them. You should go and do some research for that too, so I'll leave now, Maeda. This is actually good though. Kid managed to wake up. Will he be okay? Time is already... Alright, and what Kinjo said was somewhat weird. Kinjo mentioned that he saw Yamaguchi collapse, but Yamaguchi's time of death is around morning hours. So, was he unconscious until the killer showed up again? Bloodied and abandoned until the morning after. No miracles like Tomori don't happen twice. So, what Kinjo said would be a clue to something, so it's good to put that into notice. The more I investigate something, the more the mystery seems to get deeper. And he just started investigating. Hey you guys, I'm sorry that you had to work so hard in your research, however, Mr. Monokuma here is impatient, so why don't we just solve this together? That said, the class trial will now begin. Please gather up at the red carpet door on the first floor as usual. What kind of results will be waiting for us in this trial? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it thrilling? I'll be waiting. Time's up, but what about Kinjo? He just started investigating, but now they're already gathering. It was a big misfortune that he was lying down because he passed out. Even without Kinjo's help, we'll have to work together. Even if I think about it, I haven't even figured out the crime scene properly yet. Damn it, this won't make any difference. If I stay here, if I'm late, I'll get punished. Let's just go. Upon entering the entrance of the court, most of the guys were already gathered. Mannequin, you're here. Are you the last one? Did Kinjo never manage to open his eyes? What do you mean Kinjo isn't here? What are you talking about? Did Kinjo wake up? I met up with Kinjo just before I got here. Is that true? Thank goodness Kinjo woke up. but I can't see him. It's a matter of language to not have a class trial without properly investigating in his own personality. However, it's time for the meeting, but he is late because he wants to investigate as much as possible. Isn't that so? That's so like Kinjo indeed. No way, but what if Kinjo is the culprit in this case? What is this nonsense deja vu again? Terui, are you just saying that because you're late? Think about it and tell me. Why not? It could happen, right? What? Kinjo can be the culprit? Wouldn't it be more fun that Psycho Cop finally goes to murder with her own hands? Mikara agrees with my opinion for once, so it wouldn't be strange if the universe explodes. Strangely, it's more scary when Mikaro says it. What do you enjoy so much about this, Mikaro? Did you forget? In the last trial, you could die. I had hoped that you would change at least a little, but you're still the same as ever. Because I know the killer the trick even before going to the trial. All that's left is watch you shovel their grave, right? Huh? You already know who the killer is? Who is it? Why should I tell you, idiots? Don't worry, I'll watch you shoveling and struggling. I'm not sure if I should say this, but this is the first time I ever thought about wanting to hit a woman this much. By the way, where's Kinjo? He's late. Alright, have you all gathered? Good then, let's get started. As always, just take the elevator, go down. The trial's design has been remodeled, so look forward to it. But Kinjo's not here. Huh? Kinjo's not here? Kinjo was given a special time bonus due to his fainting condition. This is what I want to say, but since he woke up and started investigating the case, it's presumed that they're going to participate in the class trial. So this is my mistake. He won't get punished, but I'll bring him shortly, in supersonic speed. Hey, what kind of supersonic speed is this? No, it's just that when I was about to search for him, he was already at the door. Boo boo boo. Kinjo sure is obedient. You came and I didn't even need to call you. Shut up and disappear before my eyes already. Kinjo, are you okay? While I did as much investigation as possible compared to the previous cases, the amount of information is extremely insufficient, but... No, I asked if you were okay since you got hurt. Oh, you mean my body? Well, it's fine. I have experienced this much injuries, even once, or twice with the snatcher. Hey, it's been a long time, hasn't it, Kinjo? I didn't expect to see you bleeding and fainting. I think you're forgetting something. I'm a human being too, so I got caught off guard. Heck, caught off guard because he's a police, pun. Why did you get a little fed up with us, Kinjo? Clearly last time you left the dining room, I thought you were breaking our bonds or something like that. Of course I did, and that still hasn't changed. But in the conditional situation of the class trial, your charges of being preliminary criminals are revoked for the time being. The criminal analogy is that the more manpower there is, the better, and because a murder has occurred, the rest of the criminals other than the criminal of this incident are simply ordinary citizens in this scenario. Kabashikawa was making a list of swearing words to give a double comeback to Kinjo once he woke up. What? Hey, I never did that. Do whatever you like. This is a temporary truce anyways. After this trial, you'll become a preliminary criminal once more. Of course, Akane Taira is an exception. I'm always thinking of you as a semi-criminal. One that committed attempted murder, so don't even think you're innocent in the least. The crazy guy started having seizures again. Taira, don't bother with what that waste of a man says. When Maki died, we were thoroughly fighting with each other. It is a difficult class trial, even if we have to work together. Something gave me an odd feeling, like this would be an even more harder trial than any other I've ever faced. That's enough talking. Anyways, we're starting the trial, right? Let's get on with it already. Indeed, the first thing we must do now is solve what's in front of us. It's not good for everyone to be on edge this early. Yeah, Mikaro and Uehara are right. If we do not pass the class trial first, we will all die. Relationships with the others, conflicts with Kinjo, there are many problems ahead. I want to solve them, but first, the biggest one. Let's begin a class trial. If we don't take care of it, nothing will change in the end. What now? Go down there already. No way, I think the number of people is a bit shorter. Yeah? No? Oh well, the only thing left is to do this, right? Why did we all start disappearing like this? Lol. There's something dangerous about this case, and it seems that it will be a more complex trial than before. Be on your guard. I investigated as much as I could. The only thing left to do is deduct the results from yours. I was insane for the most part after Ayami-chan was executed, so I couldn't talk much to those two. I'm so sorry, Kanata-chan. I'm really sorry, Yamaguchi-kun. Damn it, killing two people at once? This is the worst. It's the worst feeling ever. Coming here again and again. Now just smelling this place seems more disgusting. Then let's go down. I'll open the door. Like always, the elevator was making a loud noise and goes underground. The inside of the elevator was only filled with 9 people left. It was so quiet during this time. There's also fewer people now. Is it because the relationship between us has worsened than the first and second trials? Me in particular, I try not to make eye contact with some of them, such as Kinjo or Mikaru. I wonder if we will really be able to survive this time. The elevator stopped with a shake that we seem to be getting used to by now. Whoa, this is a surprise. Why are you in front of me, bear thing? Did you learn in kindergarten to think about the people who get off an elevator? Monaco has been doing this once or twice already though. It's hard to react anymore. Why is he not saying anything? Has he been turned off? Why is Monokuma like this? I guess it's a new act. Hey, how long are you planning on doing that? We have to do the class trial. Are you going to move? Something seems different than usual here. Kurokawa, touching that thing wouldn't do anything good. Huh? What's wrong, Mikako-chan? Kurokawa was suddenly stunned. At first, she thought Monokuma was pulling a prank, but she noticed that the mood was different than usual. And then... Hey-ya! Eat! I'm alive! I live! You thought I was dead! Kurokawa touched Monokuma suddenly began to make a loud noise. What the hell are you doing? Are you kidding around? Don't do that again! All of a sudden my rack was stuck. I was surprised too. Rack. No big deal. Did you all came down here in the meantime? Well done. Then shall we start right away? It looks like you're trying to rush something here. By the way, wasn't Kurokawa's scream cute? Let's just move on. Alright, it's time for what everyone's been waiting for. The class trial is back. While I, of course, knew this would happen. Nobody waited for this. What else, even if it's not you, there's another person who was waiting for this. Anyway, this will be the third class trial. Your own relationships who has been paying attention to the trends of the nerves seems to be in a state of lockdown. As if it were breaking. Shut up, I don't care about that. Don't bring stupid stuff and start already. Oh boy, tough attitude I see. I was gonna start anyways. Now then, shall we go with no more words? An extreme trial. The class trial that crosses beyond life and death. The third one. The moment Monokuma said that, I suddenly felt disoriented. Even when you think the 2 victims and 2 culprits died, 4 friends were already gone. In addition to the victims of this incident, so a total of 6 friends have left our group. One of the victims this time was Inori. After the infirmary was open, she didn't know when someone would get hurt, so she spent most of her days in that room. A child with the most angelic heart Everyone who worried about us, our health, our happiness. Nori was that kind of person. Through and through, the reason she died was because her whole body became a block of charcoal. Her whole body was tied and unable to move. Someone who has done such a terrible thing is among us. They also killed Yamaguchi and committed ruthless acts. The culprit. Although Yamaguchi was timid and behaved inappropriately due to his size at important times, he mediated the situation like a lawyer should, and we laughed together. But then he was killed with a neck wound, so severe that it was nearly amputated in cold blood. Yamaguchi was no longer with us. A trial to uncover the killer begins now. Trial in order to live. A lie in order to live. A betrayal in order to live. Elaborating their will to live. For an excuse to kill. Using trust at the risk of life. Risking our lives in this class trial. Okay, I'm gonna edit here. Next video will be the trial number 3. Yeah, third trial. I'm gonna catch you, you bastard, whoever killed Inori. She's like the most angelic angel ever. So yeah, this is Danganronpa another. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. Translation made by Zephram. Follow the channel for more Danganronpa related stuff. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.